Forget trying to keep up with AI. It's moving too fast. It's time to think differently about it. Welcome to the AI Readiness Project, hosted by Kyle Shamim and Ann Murphy. They're here to help you build the mindset to thrive in an AI-driven world and prepare for what's next.
I gotta say, your hair looks amazing.
Thank you. I washed it. The people who saw me on the Daily AI show early this morning can attest.
It needed a good washing.
It needed to be washed. I have to tell you, do you know the nice folks at the Daily AI show?
I certainly know of it. Yeah.
So like Carl Ye, Brian Mauser, Andy Holliday, Beth Lyons, June Mehatcher, fantastic. Here's the thing about them. They all sit so still. Like when, there's just four of us and everybody is sitting still the whole time looking at the camera for 60 minutes.
I feel very judged.
Kyle, you and we do. I mean, now that I've seen myself, we're like, that's I felt like I was like, the whole time I was like, don't move, don't itch, don't scratch, don't look over there. But so
those are not our people. Media trainers would say that we should be more like them, but I would argue that we're just being us,
We're just being us. But when it was me and then three people sitting still like statues, like Zen Buddha masters.
Wow, that's rough. Well,
yeah. So, but this morning I sat still. It was actually very, very difficult to sit still that long.
That's awesome. Well, let's jump in. I'm excited to jump in. How are you? Where's your head these days with how ready are you for AI?
Why don't you go first today?
Okay, I'll go first. I've got a good one.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's a good one. I've got an answer. So this week I started, I created this 5-day back to basics AI crash course that I'm giving. So it's basically on the same channel that I do my lives every night, but it's a bit more structured, right? It's a bit more sit still and, do the one thing rather than just full on chaos. And there's a couple of things that have struck me. I haven't done just a true back to basics kind of education in probably more than a year. Because a lot of people on the AI Learning Lab are irregulars. They're the people that show up all the time, and we don't necessarily need to go back to the beginning. And so there's something really refreshing about just assuming that anyone that's watching may not have tried even ChatGPT, may not have tried anything, and really thinking about, well, what do you talk about? How do you talk? Where do you start? Right? How do you talk about prompting? How do you talk about the tools? How do you talk about all the features within the tools? How do you answer their very legitimate questions about what do all these numbers mean for the different ChatGPT models? Like, what is this nightmare, right? So that's one piece of it. The other piece of it is essentially impossible to do a back to the basics. There's nothing basic right now in AI. ChatGPT itself, I have a slide of all the different features that I tried to go over in an hour. It was more than 25 of them. 25 distinct features like memory and system prompts and deep research and Sora and Codex and just custom GPTs versus projects, which are almost identical, but they're different.
Study mode.
Yeah. Voice mode, just all of it, right? So even the simple, straightforward tools are no longer simple and straightforward. And so it just reminded me of how far we've come, but also how intimidating this what we do is if you haven't been playing along. And I feel like that's going to get that shock or that jarring sense of, oh my God, there's so much to learn, is just going to get worse and worse and worse for people who are not up to speed right now. So the idea of AI ready is just start playing. And it also very much reinforces for me the idea of play first is super important, because I can imagine, like, I was overwhelmed in just trying to put together, here's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being new and just like having all this stuff kind of, blasted out of the screen at me. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just play, just have a good time with it, because eventually some stuff will start to seep in. You'll start to learn, but I don't know. So for me, it's been a really interesting week. Tonight we're doing creativity. So we're doing generators and video generators and song generators and things like that. So it's going to be a fun night, but still all of those tools have gotten so much more complicated and so much more sophisticated, even the simple ones, right?
Yes. Well, okay. So can I just tell you how to do your job a little bit?
That would be awesome. Because I don't know how to. You and I both know.
For me, with the image, maybe it was just like the bridge too far, but when it came time to learn the names of all of the image, all the like creativity related AI platforms, that's when my brain said just no to all the names.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a way to like choose the ones that sound more different. Like, remember there's like Kriya and like
decohere, Kriya, decomposed.
Yeah, DID, like it just exactly. Descript, like they all are the same. So that would be really my only thing, would be help people somehow or another not have to remember 30 brand new nonsensical words, letters, numbers, sounds.
Yep.
I told you I was watching the show and I loved how I loved watching you go back to basics. I loved seeing you. Wait, did I miss, did the box metaphor come out yet?
That was night one. You missed it.
Okay, I missed it. That's sad.
You missed it.
But actually, I'm okay with it.
Well, it was funny. I was not going to do it, and then the crowd demanded it.
Yeah, I'm sure they were like, they couldn't live without it.
They were like, we've got to see the box. I got the box out. Everyone was happy. It was good. Yeah,
the box is good. But what I noticed in the comments that I really loved seeing was so many people, like I was there in the beginning and then toward the end, so many people saying like, thank you so much, sir, for doing this. This is my first time. I've never seen anything like this. You're so energetic. Appreciate you. Thank you. Like, a new crowd. I don't know, maybe it was how you guys promoted it or something, but really appreciative people.
Well, it was really good. One of the things that Brandon noticed last night was he ran a poll at the very beginning of the night, and I think 80% of the people said they use ChatGPT every day.
Okay.
Some of the people that use ChatGPT every day, I was showing things, they were like, wait, it can talk? Whose voice is that? I didn't know it could talk. Like there were things in the list of 25 features, even if you use ChatGPT a lot, if you're not like explicitly exploring into the corners of it, there are very likely things it does you have no idea that are even possible, that are remarkable tools, right? And so it's like that's a thing that kind of blows my mind a bit, is that people that are fairly deep into this AI stuff had revelations in the back to basics. Just sort of, here's some stuff to look at.
Even just with you saying there are 25 features, I started just like quickly thinking of them, and I realized in a moment, like, I don't even use O3. Like, right. I can't be bothered. I'm that spoiled. I'm like, I don't know, 4's fine. Like it could be.
But it is.
That's true. And it is.
It's so good. Like 4 is so good. Like part of this, there's an ego thing. And for me, at least, I'm curious what you think of it. There's an ego thing of like, you at some point you just have to go, I don't have enough going on up here to even need a reasoning model. Like there may be a use case or two where I pull it out, but for the most part, I'm not asking reasoning kind of questions.
Well, also like when they say like, well, if it really needs, if it's something that's really hard to figure out, and I'm like, I feel like anytime I'm thinking it's like effortful, like how much more effortful? I guess I don't do things that are that hard or something, because I can't relate to all of a sudden like, no, this is a really hard one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this weekend, but I find it so fascinating that so many of us are like, we hit these milestones in our like AI educating, community building journey. And I told you independently, even though you and I talk all the time, I didn't know that you were doing the back to basics. You didn't know that I was launching a foundations, for women. Like, it's foundations for beginners, AI foundations for beginners. I mean, we could have launched that anytime in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It was the same week as you launched yours, because it's time. We have to go back to the beginning, or whatever the version of the beginning. I don't know if we need to go back to the beginning all the time, but build some foundations with people so they can take on what's next.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, even though it feels like we're just getting started, we are 2.5 years into, right, the post ChatGPT world. It seems decently likely that tomorrow ChatGPT 5 shows up, which is exciting. But again, it's going to be a whole new thing to understand. It's going to be a whole new, probably, way to talk to it.
Yeah.
I think if the promises of Mr. Altman are correct, we're not going to have to deal with models anymore.
That would be lovely.
That it will just do the sort of dynamic, model choosing on its own, which that it should be. Like, if I never see another 044030 3.6.4.2 again, I'm good. Like, we're done. No more.
Yeah.
Just answer my question. You guys figure out the numbers. Keep track of that stuff. I have a very simple request. I'll ask, you answer brilliantly, and we're done.
And then we're done. So what do we want to talk about for a couple more minutes? Do we want to talk about study mode, because that's kind of exciting? Do we want to talk about ChatGPT 5 coming out? Do we want to talk about AI powered pricing and the freak out around that? What do we want to talk about?
I like the AI powered pricing. For the one thing to pay attention to this week, I'm gonna bring up the slide from last night, because I want people to be able to just screenshot it, and we can just talk about that really quickly. The AI powered pricing. So this was, I think, Delta Airlines, correct? The CEO of Delta Airlines said, "Hey, good news. We're embracing AI, and everyone's talking about AI. We love it. It helps our planes fly, and we're going to now use it to figure out who you are, and we're going to charge you the most possible you're willing to pay based on everything we know about you." Isn't it awesome?
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, it's been so well received."
by the board. The shareholders.
I know. And I love the audacity to just be like, this new pricing model is called, "What's the most you will pay?"
Unbelievable. Hey, it's funny. There's something about AI that is so seductive that I think it's tempting for people to go, "Ooh, this is AI," or "Ooh, I want to use this AI tool or this is an AI strategy," right? Like, the more we learn about this stuff, the more we go back to the lessons we've always learned, which is the technology is not as important as, wait, why are we doing this? What are we trying to accomplish, right? And I think there are going to be just sort of a rolling series of gaffes, for the coming years, while people just adopt technology, talk about it just because they think it's cool, and use technology for decisions like that, which are, a choice.
That is a choice.
It is a choice.
But what's tricky about it is that it's the kind of thing that makes it really easy for everybody to say AI is nothing but evil.
Yeah.
Because it really would be awful if every single thing we needed to transact about was based on all these bajillion data points that we've so willingly given over. And you could say, like, well, it's kind of sort of been this way. Yeah, you could say with the airlines, it's kind of sort of been this way. You don't know who paid what. You for sure didn't pay the same price as the person, back there or up there. But when you start thinking about things like gasoline and food and medicine and all that, and what regulation may or may not be put in place to protect us. I think this is an example of when the AI looks pretty freaking bad.
Yeah.
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look. It's a bad look.
It's a bad look, AI.
Yeah, it's, and listen, I mean, and I think people are justified in being frustrated with the tech, the corners of the tech world that are just celebrating the tech for its own sake.
Yep.
And not really thinking about how it's going to impact all of us. Okay, so let's talk about a thing to pay attention to this week. So I think what I'd like to do is I just had it up for a second, but I want to pop this screen up. And actually, I think what I'm going to do for a second is make it full screen. And I'm going to encourage anyone who's watching right now, take a screenshot of this. Okay. This is, believe it or not, last night on the Back to Basics, the AI crash course, when we had our ChatGPT 101, this was the slide. In 1 hour, I at least showed all of these things. I think I didn't show deep research, but in 1 hour, I showed all of these things. Here's what I want to talk to about this. Even if you use ChatGPT a lot, there are likely things that either you've forgotten it does or didn't even know that it did. For the next week or so, I would encourage you to just kind of reconnect with playing within ChatGPT. Have you looked at your system prompt in a while? Have you looked at your memory, right? Do you even know that those things are there and that you can turn them off? Do you know what a temporary chat is? Have you explored non-text prompting? Like, you can upload an image that you make in Midjourney and say, give me the backstory here, and it will write you an amazing story, right? And you don't have to do prompting, right? You can just talk to ChatGPT with advanced voice. You can put it on your Bluetooth in your car. So I think a thing, just because ChatGPT 5 might be coming out and it's going to get sophisticated, a lot of these tools may change and get integrated, but just kind of refamiliarize yourself and start playing again and start to push into the corners of what ChatGPT can do. I feel like that might be time well spent. But you tell me, you look at that list, does that just melt your brain and make you want to run away, go back to a podcast where you can't move?
It makes me want to cancel the rest of the week and just hang out in ChatGPT and just do all the things. And I think that I think this is my defining moment of, yes, you need to know how to work with an additional frontier model. You do, just in case. But if you think you're like trying to find a better one-stop shop, no.
It makes images good. It makes words good. It makes
words good.
They got GPT-5 coming out. They're the ones that, no one's really caught up with them, which is remarkable. I mean, they've caught up with them, but nobody's really clearly surpassed them.
Right.
And yeah, until further notice, having a real handle on what, you don't have to be good at everything, but having a handle on what ChatGPT, the ecosystem of ChatGPT, let's call it that. It's not a single tool, right? It's an ecosystem. Having a handle on what the ecosystem makes possible, I can only think will be valuable for you.
100%. Just, and to your point, I think that if people could go in there and set a timer for an hour and do not what they usually do. You're not allowed to do the thing you usually do. Press the buttons that you don't know what that is. Press that button, dink around with it, ask ChatGPT, how do I do Sora? What is Codex PS? I don't even know.
Yeah.
So
it's got to do with code and an X.
Right? And do some fun stuff. Yeah, I think I took a picture of it because I'm I need to refresh my memory.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I wrote that down. I'm like, I thought it was going to be just a column, like a single column. I had to go 2 columns. I had to categorize stuff. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, some of these things are related to each other. Like custom GPTs and projects in ChatGPT are very, very related. They're kind of variations of each other. Like projects is kind of like Notebook LM. Custom
Well, then,
GPTs are
yeah,
kind of
see?
these things you can share with the world, but you can sort of do that. It's, but again, it's just like, go play.
It's funny because I told Michelle, like Michelle Monte Silva, who is the executive director of the She Leads AI Academy, and who's our foundations course is her baby. I said the other day, I'm like, but I gotta do my thing where I go around the whole OpenAI ecosystem and I show everybody all the things. And I just now realized, no, that's not possible in a, foundations 90-minute one-time workshop, but I can do some cherry picking, but it's very robust.
You can't. In fact, I would argue that showing that much stuff in an hour was a tad irresponsible. Right? Because if I were sitting there and someone's like, oh, ChatGPT 101, I'm going to learn how to prompt it. And I come in there and then I'm just assaulted with the 30 things it can do. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. call me when someone figures this thing out. Right?
Yep.
At the same time, knowing that it is a very deep well for $20 a month, even the free version of ChatGPT is so incredibly valuable if you take the time to kind of learn what it can do. And I think to your point, just go do stuff you haven't done in it and play. Like, don't put any expectations on it. Don't tell yourself you've got to learn it. I think one of the worst things you can do is just say, I have to learn this. And then it just makes it like, eat your vegetables,
That's how I am.
Yeah, just go play.
Very Gen X. It's going
to be awful.
I know. I'm going to love it. And it's
bitter, you betcha.
You betcha. So one thing, okay, so the people who haven't been, obsessing about this stuff for the past 2.5 years, what is it going to be like for them when the advent of ChatGPT 5 wakes them up and they're like, okay, this big thing, I knew something, I knew it had a 5 in it, it happened today. Now what? What's it going to be like for them, do you think, if they don't have any background and they're diving into 5?
My instinct is it's not going to matter.
Okay.
Sam Altman in the Theo Von interview, which I know drove you a little bit crazy, but there was a point in that interview where Theo said, "Is there, like, what scares you? Is there anything that scares you?" And Sam said, "Oh, someone sent me this email and I didn't even understand what the question was, and I put it into 5 and it just answered it right, and it kind of shook me. It was like, oh, I don't even need to be in this conversation, right?" And then he said, and then I just moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I've noticed in the lives and in the AI salon, and even you and I talking about stuff, it's actually kind of shocking to me how quickly we normalize this remarkable technology. So my instinct is 5's going to come along. It's just going to be better at stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then people that are new to it are just, their first experience with ChatGPT is going to be like, oh, this just works. Like, it will probably be a similar revelation as we had with ChatGPT 3.5.
Yeah.
It'll be at a whole different level, but for them, they'll go, oh, this is amazing. Cool. They'll have their Kevin McAllister moment. And then I feel like they'll just normalize that as, oh, you can do that now.
Right.
And then I think we go back to our lives in some weird way. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like I used to think, I used to feel like there was going to be this moment where a thing launched that woke everyone up, and all of a sudden it's just, we're all using it. I feel less and less like that's going to happen. I feel like it's just going to be a normal adoption curve, right? We've still got the crossing the chasm. We've still got this big chasm of people that are just on the other side. Like, I don't want to try it. I don't care, whatever. Or just not even aware at all.
Yeah.
And then you got a bunch of people that are trying it that are like, oh my God, this is amazing. You got to do this. And I think it's just going to be a relatively normal adoption phase. But for people who are not playing with it now and come in and use it, I think that initial Kevin McAllister moment is going to be increasingly mind-blowing.
increasingly mind-blowing, and it's possible that it will lend us more credibility as well, versus people who went on and thought it was like some magic easy button and they would write the best email of all time, didn't like it, and then they're like, oh God, that Kyle Shannon and Ann Murphy, they're always talking, what, I don't know what's wrong with them.
The hucksters. What are they? How are they using this thing? You know, they obviously don't know good writing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I got that when I got yelled at on LinkedIn for all the art things. I've never been called a no talent loser more in my life. And it just reinforced all of my insecurities from childhood. Listen, hey, I have an idea. Why don't you tell the good people about this swell little group you put together?
Swell group. So, well, we have a little bit of an interesting update. We always have updates. I shouldn't say I say it like it's unusual, but She Leads AI is it is an ecosystem, to use the word that is becoming the word of the day. It includes an AI academy, which is external facing education for the peoples, for the women peoples. We have a consulting agency that's coming online soon. We're putting final touches on our website, which will allow us, of course, as you do, to put your shingle out.
Yep.
Then we have our She Leads AI Society, which is our membership community. And one of the fun things about the She Leads AI Society is that we have social Saturdays. One of my friends pointed out to me, it's like AA, like it's there no matter where you go. We will be here on these screens from 10 a.m. to noon every single damn Saturday. So if you are a woman in AI, or you want to be, like, if you're totally obsessed, or if you're just curious, like, we'll be there. We'll be there. The door's open. Come on in. We'll get you some hot coffee. And you can sign up on our website, which is sheleadsai.ai, and you can join us. And what's new is that we are doing themes every weekend. So this weekend is content generation and visibility. And we're not doing like not like the, hey, everybody, here's how to write a prompt, but like, a little, not the stuff that you see on LinkedIn, the stuff that
you're leading with a use case. It sounds like
we love use cases.
Yeah. Use cases are the way to go.
Which is
not what I've done this week, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I went back to my old habits, but that's all right.
We're very dogmatic about use case based learning. And then the weekend after that, we're doing AI and hiring. Last weekend we did agents. So now we're kind of making sure that people know they can pick and choose, come anytime. And we're excited about it. And what I've been super, super excited about, I'm almost done with my little rant here, Kyle, but one of the things that you and I have done, like with AI Festivus, we have events at times when some people might think, well, that's not going to work because everybody's home with their family. Everybody's doing the holidays. Everybody's hanging out with their kids on Saturday mornings. There's no way. Well, guess what? There's a lot of people in the AI community who don't have that same exact Norman Rockwell-esque life, and who are looking for places to be and things to do on weekends and in the holidays. And I like that we are there for those people in our community.
I love it. And, I would also argue that, the people that we're attracting are curious enough about AI that they're prioritizing it. One of the things that drives me the most crazy in the world is when someone says, well, I don't have time for that. Well, no. You chose not to make time for that. Those are two different things.
Very different things.
And so what I'm noticing is that the people that show up to our events on a regular basis are prioritizing learning and doing the self-improvement and doing the upskilling and things like that. So to that end, the AI Salon is a community that I started with Leah Fasten the week after ChatGPT back in 2022. December 7th, 2022 was our first meeting. Similar to She Leads AI, it's a group of really remarkable, generous, curious people that are exploring AI. We talk about the cycle of AI readiness, which is play first, mindfully create, and generously lead. And generously lead looks like learning out loud, like people learn and they generously share what they're learning. And we also have a subscription-based area of the community called the AI Salon Mastermind for people that want to kind of step up the game and get into more focused conversations. Like when you do want to dig deep, it's nice to do it with people who are on a similar kind of level of commitment and just really in it to be professional about it. And speaking of which, so please check out the salon. And if you go to community.thesalon.ai, that'll take you directly to the Mighty Networks community itself. And it'll just be one step less for you. And this whole podcast here exists because of the AI Readiness Training Program, which we put together along with Vicky Baptiste out of AI Festivus. So if you are looking for a real deep dive in how to shift your mindset for AI and be ready for what's coming, independent of the tools, that's what this training program is all about. So go check it out. It's 5 deep modules that use the content from AI Festivus as sort of anchoring points. And then we've distilled out of all those talks some common themes in 5 different categories. So really remarkable training. So I'm super excited about it.
Get a certificate, yo.
Put it on your LinkedIn.
Put it on your LinkedIn, yo. Put it on your CV.
So listen, we've got an exciting guest. Why don't you tell the good people about Tam and let's bring her up here.
So one of the things that I like about Tam is that she's also a Pacific Northwest girly. So she's up in Seattle, which is just hop, skip, and a jump from me in Corvallis, Oregon. I got to meet Tam a couple of months ago through just the extended Women in AI community. And like so many of us out here, she's, not doing this stuff alone. None of this stuff can happen in isolation. And I'm very interested in Tam telling us about where her next, where she's headed right now, because I'm loving the direction that I'm seeing. And what I think is going to be the case is that Tam is going to be one of the people who is if you've been using ChatGPT for 5 hours, the next thing you should do is start following Tam and start doing what Tam tells you to. She has a gift for breaking things down in a way that is so clear and just not noisy. Just, is this the problem you're having? Then do this. And I really appreciate that, because
that's really good.
Right? That's not how my brain works. So Tam.
Awesome. So Tam, welcome.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Anne. I appreciate the introduction. And yes, I've been told that my communication style can be very direct in both good and bad ways. So take it or leave it, right?
Direct is good. So before we jump in and start asking you a million questions, why don't you tell the good people who you are? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, my journey has definitely been non-linear. Probably like most people here, probably like you guys as well. I started out in accounting. I was in that for 8 years, did property accounting, real estate, both commercial, residential for a while. And I just got bored of the financial year-end close and the quarterly close and doing taxes. And, to me, it was just not something that aligned with what the work that I wanted to do. And I realized over time, I just have always had this systems-oriented, solutions-oriented mindset. So wherever it was that I went, I was always kind of finding a better way to do things. And my mantra has always been I'm going to leave this place better than I found it. And so after accounting, I transitioned over to FinTech, where I have worked in various go-to-market roles. I've founded teams. The most recent corporate position was at Ramp. So I was helping accounting firms just adopt technology across the board. And yeah, it was great. And now I have become obsessed, as you say, with AI. And I think I really agree with your point on play first, because that is exactly how I've learned how to do everything that I know now, is just by testing. And I've spent dozens, even hundreds of hours playing with AI.
Yeah, that's great. And what's your current thing that you're doing that you're most excited about?
Yeah, and that's a really great question. Thank you for asking that. For the last couple of years, I have been really diving deep into not only AI, but also marrying that with the automation aspect. So using tools like Zapier, like Make.com, like N8N, and then combining that with AI. I've been a little bit more of a generalist up until recently. And only recently have I decided to narrow down into content generation specifically and going into LinkedIn first and expanding into, blogs and newsletters. I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with.
Using the automations.
Using automations with AI. Yep.
Yeah. Just totally geeky. I'm just curious, what is your tool of choice right now? Of the three you mentioned, which is the one you like geeking out on the most?
So my philosophy is around human plus AI. AI doesn't work without humans. AI doesn't work without the context that humans provide. AI doesn't work without the strategic reasoning and critical thinking that humans provide. And so there always has to be a human element to the process, always.
Yeah.
And having said that, when I choose tools, I like N8N a lot, but it is really technical for a lot of people. It's actually developed for developers.
Yeah.
So when I'm working with businesses, I assess, where are they on their technical journey?
That's great. That's great.
Who is going to adopt the system after I'm gone?
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things that I think about. So between Make and N8N, I like N8N a lot. As far as AI is concerned, I use both GPT and Claude quite a bit. So you may have heard Claude is really, really great at writing, and I can attest to that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's actually the perfect answer. I asked you a crappy question, which is what tool do you like? That's the right answer is depending on who I work with, I have different favorites. That's an awesome answer. All right, I will shut up now. Anne, questions, thoughts?
No need to shut up. Now, when you're doing your content thing, you're obviously going to, discover all sorts of different areas that you want to help people help people like expand and explode. Do you think you're gonna end up being like a influencer personal branding kind of coach, or like a CEO personal branding kind of coach, or just like an everybody kind of educator? What are you thinking is your ICP?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this quite a bit. And if you have played around with content posting tools, content creation tools, SaaS products, the issue that we encounter with those tools is that, number one, they're very easy to use. Two, once you buy into the system, then you're paying this monthly subscription and you're stuck with them forever. Your data lives with them. You don't own that data, they do. And the other thing too is it's very, very hard to build business-specific context into the SaaS, into the platform. And so what you get is this really generic output. Let's say you use a tool that creates LinkedIn posts. That post is going to follow the same template that, thousands of other people are using. And it doesn't know anything about your business. It doesn't know anything about your ICP. It doesn't know anything about the services that you offer. It doesn't know what your brand voice is. And so what I have really been focusing on a lot is what kind of context do we need to feed AI? How does that need to be structured? What does that actually need to entail to make AI give us the outputs that we actually want? And so my ICP, to answer your question, long roundabout way of answering this, is going to be solo founders, small teams who can't afford to hire an entire marketing team, and even potentially digital agencies. So where I come in is I'm not a marketing agency. I'm not a content guru. I'm also not a SaaS platform. I'm going to build bespoke solutions that work for you, that actually take your business context into consideration.
Awesome. So you're focused on that part of, are you a context engineer?
I kind of have a physical reaction when I hear the word prompt engineering.
I do too.
How do you all feel about that?
I hate it.
I know. It was really just a trap to get us all to be able to agree that is.
We're tossing you a bunch of traps today.
Yeah.
I feel like it is so much more important to have the right context.
Yeah, me too.
Over knowing how to create the perfect prompt.
The structure. Yeah. I totally agree. The prompt engineering thing for me, it feels quite exclusionary, right? It's like, it kind of perpetuates, oh, you have to be an engineer to be good at this. No, you don't. You can be, right? But you don't have to be. So yeah, I'm right there with you. That drives me a little bit batty.
I have a recent little life hack for context. Can I share it with you, Tam?
Yes, absolutely.
And everybody, all the nice people. So,
everyone who's listening.
Yeah, just me and you, Tam. Everybody else, just turn down your volume. Okay, so I don't have like a Teams account or whatever. I have normal, ChatGPT Pro or whatever Plus. I don't think we should have to be able to tell the difference between Pro and Plus. It's the one I pay for, whatever it is. But I have tons of contractors and tons of collaborators who are all working on the same general topic. She leads AI. And so, but what happens is that we're all super well-meaning and everybody wants to promo stuff. And I'm certainly not going to begrudge anybody who wants to do marketing for our organization. But because people aren't all feeding the same context in or accurate context in, we get some messaging kind of drift, to say the least, including some of the stuff that we absolutely don't say, right? There's like a suite of like ways of describing women in AI that we just don't use those words. And so what I finally did is I sat down, I was like, I don't believe a brand guide is the end all be all that it used to be anymore. I think that the brand guide still it's old school. Like you're thinking somebody's cross-referencing your sacred brand guide while they're working in AI, and that's not happening. Not at least with people I work with. So we create these packets. We call them packets of context. So if you're working on the this, that, or the other event, here's the She Leads AI packet plus this event packet. And then they can upload it into their custom GPTs or their projects, because I don't want to just give people my stuff anymore, because everyone knows how to make a better mousetrap for them, for their brain, for the way they work. And this is a huge shift for somebody like me, because I don't like, well, you should see Kyle's, this is the kind of Gen Xer he is, Tam. Kyle saves his files without proper naming conventions on his desktop.
I do.
Untitled 1, version 2.5.
Yeah, final.
Yeah, final.
Final.
3.4. Yeah.
Yep.
3.4 _draft.
No, but you make a really great point there. And, it's kind of like, because I used to work pretty heavily in operations as well. It's like creating SOPs or standard operating procedures they're incredibly detailed. They've got the looms, they've got the step-by-steps that no one ever looks at ever again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's false. It's a padlock on a paper bag.
Well,
right.
I'm curious as to your thought, Tam. I feel like we're potentially entering an era of co-creation. One of the things we did at the AI Salon is we created a mid-journey mood board, a style for the AI Salon. And we give that out to people. And we're like, hey, if you want to ever make images that are like on brand for the AI Salon, just use our thing. So it's kind of like a brand guideline, but it's more like a brand, like here's a brand goodie, right?
Yeah.
And you can go create within that. I mean, do you think there's something do you think we're entering a more dynamic era of brand expression, brand engagement, customer engagement?
Yeah, I mean, again, context is everything. And I think that one thing too is when you feed these documents to AI, it's not a static document. It's a breathing, living thing that needs to be updated constantly as your business direction changes. And I think that, myself included, sometimes I can forget to do that. It's painful to update these things, but your AI is only going to be that much more relevant if it has the most relevant information about your business.
If it's got it. Before we jump onto our 3 questions, our lightning round for our speakers. You mentioned that you're narrowing your focus to content generation and LinkedIn posting and things like that. I'm curious what led to that. Is it that you find your customers are more ready for that? Like what is the thing that triggered you to narrow the focus? Was it Was it an arbitrary choice where you're like, I've got to narrow the focus, or was it more based on what you were seeing in the marketplace?
Well, first of all, it's a problem that I had to figure out for myself. So if I'm going to be building,
that's cool.
Yeah, if I'm going to be building my own
out
system.
yet, so we should probably talk.
But I also see, you see those LinkedIn content gurus with hundreds of thousands of followers, and they give you all these posts that, they seem like people are engaging with them. They got likes, but we have no idea if they're getting customers, right? We don't know, and they're not really providing tactical strategies or implementation strategies.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Right. Or here's a hook, or here's this, how do you actually apply that?
Yeah.
And, I think of content as a business acquisition channel. And so it's something that deserves the respect, it deserves the time, the investment. Every post that you put out there, who are you reaching? What is it you're trying to teach? What is the goal of the post? Are you driving people to your newsletter? I think it's a really good idea to get people off LinkedIn and following you on a newsletter, because you own that audience.
Right.
If LinkedIn changes the algorithm, or something
did.
blows up, all your followers are gone.
Yeah. Amazing.
So it's really about starting with content and moving into revenue generating systems. Everything from generating lead magnets that get email addresses, getting people to follow your content, getting people to buy your products. That's really what I'm focusing on, and less about content guru strategies and more about taking those strategies and applying them to AI and automation so that we can do it at scale. Yeah,
I love it. It's just it's so clear, and it's not, I'm selling AI automations, right? It's like, you want some revenue for your business? I'm going to hook you up.
I'm going to remind you what Tam said, which is that social media is a business acquisition tool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which Tam did not say entirely clearly, but we do need to tell people that we would like to work with them. Remember?
Exactly.
Remember, Kyle? Kyle forgets to tell people that a lot, Tam.
I'm really bad at
this is an intervention moment right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, here's my product. Here's my service. What are you trying to sell? Put it out there. Worst thing you do is ignore it.
Never does.
I'm bad at that. All right. Perfect timing. Let's move. Let's change the subject. Okay. So we asked these 3 questions of every guest. So I'll hit you with the first one. And the first question is, what was the tipping point where you knew you had to go all in on AI, and what happened next?
I mean, it's hard to ignore. It's all over the place. It's so easy when you see all this news and you get overwhelmed and you think that you're behind, and more and more, the longer you wait, that is the case. But it's actually surprising how many people still don't know the basics of GPT. And so I think that finding a network of people who are also in the same stage and journey is important, and learning together. But hiding our head in the sand is not an option anymore. And so I have always been that of a learner's mindset, and I'm just obsessed with technology anyway. So it made it really easy for me. I'm a nerd. Okay.
Was there a specific moment? Did you have a specific aha moment where you're like, oh my God, I didn't know it could do that? Or like, what was there a moment, or was it just sort of a long progression for you where you're just like, I'm going to geek out from day one?
I hate creating proposals. And because you can either spend a ton of time hyper, tailoring this thing and making that customer feel great, and then they just ghost you. How does that feel?
Oh God.
Or
so bad.
You create something general that could speak to anybody that anybody could have created. And so again, it just started with focusing on a problem that you already have and trying to solve it.
Yeah. And so it did it really good, and you're like, this is better than doing it the other way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're not going back to doing it that way again.
No.
Can you imagine them taking away AI at this point? I can't. I don't know what I would do.
Over my dead body.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, oh boy, I woke up this morning and was reading an article by this faculty guy who's saying that, AI is going to be the end of higher ed. And by the way, as though that is like literally the worst thing that you could ever imagine. Spoken like a faculty member of a small liberal arts college. It's not going away. So, okay, sorry. Tam, based on your area of expertise, which I know is you have many areas of expertise, but so maybe choose one. What's an AI trend that you're paying attention to right now, and why?
Ooh, you prepped me for this one, but I'm still not quite ready for it. I think for me, it's so hard to get, it's so easy to get like overwhelmed, like I mentioned before. And so focusing on one specific area that really solves a problem, a pain point that you're experiencing so deeply right now is what I'm focusing on myself, which is why I've created this whole business around content, the Content Kitchen. And so for me, it's, what kind of context do I need? How do I train AI? How do I feed it the right templates, frameworks? And then how do I automate all that? How do I put it into a database and give AI access to these tools outside of GPT, outside of Claude? And how does that all interact? Can I trust it? AI likes to hallucinate. And it also hallucinates very confidently. So I'm very interested to see how GPT-5 shows up.
Yeah, exactly. My nickname for ChatGPT is mansplaining as a service.
I love it.
It will confidently answer you, even if it's wrong.
Yeah. So I hope that answers that question. I don't know if that answers that
question. It does. Yeah, absolutely.
How do you I mean, you said you're like geeking out. You like geeking out on this stuff, but what are your strategies for how you pay attention to what's happening? Like where do you pull the signal from the noise out of, because there's so much noise right now?
There's a lot of noise. I do use Perplexity for research, and it does pull up the relevant YouTube videos, which I honestly don't have time to watch sometimes. And so
just summarize them.
Right. So Google Notebook LM has been wonderful. I've really liked Substack recently, and my newsletter is also hosted on Substack. But I like it because people don't tend to withhold all the good stuff.
Yeah,
they'll give you everything, and so you can actually even build an automation around Substack.com domain names that you receive, these emails that you receive, and just create one big Google document that you feed into Notebook LM, and then you can turn that into a listening experience.
Now they have video, and
it's
really good. It's really cute.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Love this.
Little infographics, instant infographics.
Yeah,
it's really good. No, that's a good one. Like, Substack's an interesting one, because it really is. Each of the platforms have different personalities, right? And that one has the personality of, here it is, go figure, take it, go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Brilliant. Okay, last question. So this is one that is a favorite of ours because it's named after the show. What is AI readiness to you? And then what would you say to someone that's just getting started with all this AI stuff?
I've been harping on this already, but start with the problem that you already have and try to apply AI to that. Context is so much more important than prompting. You can have a mediocre prompt as long as you feed it the right information. And I think of it like training like an intern. You may have heard this analogy before. But what does an intern need to know in order to be successful? Right? Do they need to know about your business, services, how you write, who they're writing to? So I think that's something that's helped me out a lot. Something that a lot of GPT users that I'm really surprised about, who aren't taking advantage of the features. So you mentioned all these different features that are now available for Plus users.
Yeah.
If there's one feature that I would recommend any paid user to try, it is the GPT projects.
Yeah, it's my favorite
thing ever, because you can
even
upload
more than custom GPTs.
Yeah, a ton of documents, a ton of context, feed it everything that it needs to know about your business, and then every chat that you create inside of that folder has all of that context. There's no more reprompting, which can be so annoying.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. If nothing else, for me, it's like I can find the other chats. Like I knew there were some other chats in there.
And it remembers things that you talk about, because previously you would start a chat with ChatGPT, and if you've chatted with it long enough, it'll just break. It'll stop talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. Is that how how are you dealing with the context window challenge? Like, are there tools, like, is Claude better at it than OpenAI with, when you're putting together these automations, I assume if you're doing it in little chunks, you can probably get around it, but like, where do you run into in your professional applications? Where's it still janky, right? Where's it still not quite ready for prime time?
All of it, I would say. There's really.
I was hoping there would be an answer like this part's really good. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, in the context of content creation, the fact that you can upload these massively long contextual documents into a folder in GPT or in Claude is massive. I mean, these files, sometimes I have files that are 20 pages long or more, but you can't feed that into a make.com or Zapier automation.
Right.
It would be so costly to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just picking and choosing, what do you really need and what parts can you and should you automate?
Yeah. And that gets, oh, sorry, Ann, go ahead.
No. Well, I was going to say, I know this sounds so basic, but just in case anybody didn't know this weekend, I was putting a bunch of stuff into, I was putting 6 months of transcripts from Social Saturdays. So they're super long. It's a 2-hour conversation. Sometimes people stay after, so it's 3 hours or 4 hours. And I wanted to get them all into one project, but I ran into the limit of you can only have 20 files. I just said, can you put all of the text from all of these files into one file? And it did it for me. And then I just put that back into the project, and that was that.
Yeah.
Felt like cheating.
Yeah,
Loved it.
and another feature.
Yeah, tell me.
That just released recently in the last week or so, I want to say, is the
in ChatGPT?
Connectors. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you utilized that?
I'm afraid I'm going to attach it to like my credit card file or something.
I don't know how to use them. I hooked it up to, maybe you can help me. I hooked it up to Notion, to my instance of Notion. And then I said, hey, do this thing and then write it to my Notion thing. And it said, I can't write to Notion. So I just gave up.
Right. GPT can't do any edits yet. Claude can, but you still want to be careful because it could wipe out your entire Notion.
See, I don't use Notion. That's why I wanted to do it, is because I don't have any data there. So I just wanted to play. And then the first thing I tried, it couldn't do. So I was just like, I'm going to take my ball and go home.
Which we try to get other people not to do.
Exactly.
But I do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Tam, tell everybody, how can they work with you? Where can they find you? Tell them how awesome your newsletter is and your website and the lead magnets. We want people to be able to find you. Our people need you.
Yeah, definitely reach out to me at hello@techwithtam.com. You can visit my website, techwithtam.com. I started a publication on Substack. It's called thecontentkitchen.co. And I'm going to be sharing a lot more strategies around applying content creation strategies to AI and automation, and how you can scale your own business acquisition channel and learn how to sell yourself a little bit better. So looking forward to sharing more there. But yeah.
Love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And how many businesses have you started?
I don't know. How many domain names do I have?
I registered more domain names in the past year and a half.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah,
they're all gone. All of anything shorter than 5 letters. If you want the .ai, they're gone.
Yeah, you have to do crazy. You have to do crazy things like, "Are you ready for AI.com?" with some combination of letters, numbers, and asterisks.
Tam, this was fun. I'm so excited that you're out here. I'm excited about what you're doing. People need to work with you. Lots of them.
I love this. Thank you so much for having me on. It just really is a privilege to be here. And yeah, this is the most fun that I've had in a little while. So
that's good. That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's
hang around with us.
Yeah,
I love your insights. I love your approach too. You're just so clear-headed about this, and not seduced by the technology, which is it's the perfect place to be. And I think what you're up to is just incredible. So I think I need to hire you. So.
You do.
Well, you know where to find me.
I do. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Bye, Tam.
Thanks.
Bye. See you later.
Bye-bye.